Okay, so as promised, sorry, it's kind of a mess over here because I was looking for a book, and I have like 5,000 different places, and how small room I have, which is kind of surprising. I'm able to put them here and there. I have so many places that have comics. I had just because of how much I have. So I thought it was over here. It wasn't over there. I looked over there. I was like, oh yeah, duh, it's over there. So now the books are over there, all kind of all over the place now. But I want to film. So this is the library hall, and the first three, and I think this is the most I've had for movies. The first three are movies. I think it's the most I've had for movies. Is how I should have said it. First one up, I was so happy to see this. I completely forgot about this movie, honestly, which is surprising. I like actually one of the people that like this director. That is Nope by Jordan Peele. Like I said, by like it's a comic book. But yeah, been dying to see this movie. It's a new one, so it shouldn't skip. But I gotta find a good pair of headphones to watch them on. I'm losing my headphones like crazy. Not losing them, I misplaced them. I'll lose them because they're honestly cheap. And one of them shouldn't have broken. Like they did that thing where there's like only one ear of audio, and of course like it's because the way I have the cord, it's so annoying. And I'm down to one, well two. But the second one, three. One of them has only one ear of audio. I keep for like watching videos or whatever, not movies. But movies, I want to have two ears of audio, obviously. Next two up, I will probably watching on the big screen. Although not this one. Probably not this one. Krampus. I missed out on this one. You'll see why I got this movie, but for the longest time I was kind of like, about it. But you'll see why I decided to finally get it in a few seconds here. And finally, this was one of two movies I wanted to get because they were based off comics, but they were one of the comics I got last time was Eat the Rich. And it's a movie called Eat the Rich. I saw a trailer for it. It looked really insane. It's not based off the comic book, obviously, because the comic is really new and the movie was older. And no, the comic doesn't take from the movie. I don't think, at least. But also the one that they did have is I Love Trouble. I saw a trailer. This is a rom-com. I saw a trailer for it. It didn't look too bad. Didn't get the best reviews though, but I shall be the judge of that. I'm kind of a sucker for 90s movies. I don't know what it is. Like older movies. There's like there's some older movies like The Stupids. Like I actually kind of want to watch. I saw a clip of it and I was like, oh, this doesn't look too bad. But got like really bad reviews. So I probably won't. So the next, I think six is one, two, three, four. Yep, six. The next six are not from libraries. Starting with Ghost World, which is I may or may not. It's a maybe. I may or may not. It depends on how good I am with finishing the books for today. I may read that one again. This is the book I read a long time ago. Watch the movie. The movie is awesome. I got the comic afterwards or before. I think it was before. It's a pretty good movie and pretty good book and a really good movie. Yeah, I might check that one out again. So the reason you'll see why for the fact that I'm reading books I own, and then also while simultaneously reading library books. I'll explain in a few minutes here. Next one up is Amazing Spider-Man: The Short Halloween, which I read a long time ago and I remember liking. I want to read it again. I'm currently rereading the Ms. Marvel series, and I don't know why I'm doing it because for whatever reason, I think they're gonna have, because it's actually an ongoing technically. She's been having a lot of mini series recently. She's one shot out right now for Dark Web, and just earlier, like late last year, she had three one shots. I'm kind of a completist when it comes to that. No, I'm not gonna buy it myself. Ms. Marvel, I did buy those ones. You'll see, but Ms. actually got two Ms. Marvel books, but I'll count it as one. Actually three. That's gonna be the last one, because the last one I have on the Kindle. I have the first 4 volumes, and then after that, I guess I just decided, you know what, I'm not gonna purchase it. Then the library has it, you know. Miss Marvel is one of those characters I'll never buy her. I'll never buy her series myself. I'll just wait for my library to have it, or just not read it. I like the character. I'm one of those weird people that actually like the character, which is really insane because no one seems to like her at all. But I kind of do. It's kind of like a. It's hard to explain why I like her, but I think it's just the most indie character out of all the people I've read. It's kind of like Runaways, has that kind of feel. It's not like, you know, super actiony. It's kind of like a more like down to earth kind of comic, a street level kind of comic. I feel like Bendis would read a really damn good Ms. Marvel book. Anyways, Finally getting on this Doomsday Clock, which is kind of, again, one of those things like Ms. Marvel. There's now Flashpoint Beyond, which is technically or is a sequel to this. I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known it was a sequel until Comic Pop said it was, and they were going over it on their they reviewed Flashpoint Beyond. For me, I'm waiting till I get the Flash omnibuses and the Flashpoint omnibus from Jeff Johns before I get on Flashpoint Beyond. Daredevil Yellow, my favorite Daredevil book thus far. I cannot wait to read this again. And it's ironic that I'm reading this simultaneously, well, not simultaneously, but maybe simultaneously along with Spider-Man Blue. Because they did that yellow, blue. Oh, I should get Captain America white next time. And finally, this one, like with Ms. Marvel, but not like with Ms. Marvel, this is the last of the series, Ultimate Avengers Volume 3. One I had 10 years ago, and it was Volume 3. Like, why, like... No, does it even say it here? It doesn't. It doesn't say it here. So when I was picking up at the comic book shop, there was no way to know this is the Volume 3. So it was not one of those times where I bought out of, I bought something just to buy something because it was cheap, you know, it was quantity. I used to be a quantity over quality kind of guy. Still kind of am, but more with soft covers versus hard covers, like what I did with Monstrous. But again, like I said in that review, that was, not review, but my overview or comic haul, like I said there, that was because of the fact that the soft, first of all, they were cheaper, and second of all, what was the reason? I'm not doing the big here. I honestly can't remember. Oh, the two hardcovers only had the first 6 soft covers. So I was like, might as well get if I'm getting the 7th one soft cover, might as well get them all soft cover. But anyways, and actually when I was getting them, the second hardcover hadn't come out yet. So I was like, I want it now. I'm getting soft cover. So it'd be even less of a reason to get the hardcovers. Anyways, so this is Ratcatcher. So you'll see in a few seconds here when I go over the last one here. But, okay, so Ratcatcher is the first one. Actually, I reread. It's a reread. I really liked it a lot. It was a really good book. Spider-Man Season 1 by Cullen Bunn. I ended up canceling this one. Obviously, I resubmitted it because I didn't get the best reviews. So, time will tell if I like this one. It's a retelling of his origin story for new readers, yes, but it's Cullen Bunn. And it's Cullen Bunn Spider-Man, like, it's like Stephen King doing a Spider-Man book. You gotta check it out, you know? Well, I shouldn't say you gotta, like, it's, you know, like I'm saying to you guys, but you got it to me. Volume 3 of Lore Olympus. Last one until March. And then we got Fantastic Four Full Circle. Been dying to read this book. It was super expensive. For a 64-page book, this was $24.99. They have a Superman Year 1 that's 3 issues of this. That's only $5 more expensive. If that was from Marvel, it would be $49.99. So you gotta. I am so glad. I'm sorry to say this, but I am so glad it's on my local library. Even at $20, which is the current price on Amazon, it's too much for me. You have to justify a price that's above $16.99 for a small book like this. If this was $16.99, I would consider that a steal, but not $10 more expensive. It's not worth it for me. All this place my library has it. I did, and I'm glad I did. I'm sorry to be that kind of guy, but I mean, honestly, like, I think you guys know that I'm that kind of guy that is very critical about comic book prices, and I could probably go on for 3 hours, a 3-hour rant, and it's unedited. That's edited, for like 5 hours unedited. Of my rants about how much I hate comic book pricing. Not just singles, but trades too. Trades not as much. It's more like Image. It's fair, but Marvel and DC, they're kind of annoying. Marvel more than DC. It makes more sense then, I guess. Okay, so these 4 books and the movies are all. Wait, how did I? Oh, because I counted that right too. No, it's technically I should. No, because it was 27. Okay. No, because it's 27. So it's 2 movies. So technically, I did 5. Okay. I'm just going over my head because I like to have 25 books I'm reading. Like get books in the library. So these are all original graphic novels. All of them are. And with original actually they all are. But with original graphic novels that aren't by chapter, I like to read them all in one sitting. Now, Lore Olympus does go by chapter, but each chapter is 10 pages long. And do 2 chapters, I'm like, oh, is that 1 book or is that 2 books? So I just decided that, you know what, for the second volume, I'm going to read it all in one sitting, along with this one. Which I don't mind doing that. It's going to be my read first after I finish the book I was on before I left. Okay, and that one too. Okay, so that. I have things in 10 different places, so. Now on to the actual books themselves. Cable and Deadpool, actually still books. They're still books. I don't know why I said it wasn't. Cable and Deadpool, Volume 5. Pretty soon here, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and either buy the 7th volume? Yeah, 7th volume on the Kindle, or find other ways of getting it, because I doubt they have Volume 7. Now, why wouldn't the library, who has every other volume, not have Volume 7? You ask me, I say I don't know. It really boggles my mind how they don't. Maybe they had it a long time ago and the person who was checking it out never returned it, or it was damaged beyond repair, and they can't get Volume 7 because it is out of print, I believe. So, maybe something like that, I don't know. But I can get like a I can get like by like a $2 like used, like, yeah, good, and it has a few tears here, and maybe it's not like the best condition, but I can get it pretty cheap if you don't mind it having been, if you don't mind it coming in like sort of not too great condition. Next one up is Star Wars Volume 4. So they had it covered, so I can never tell. I have to go back here. Star Wars Volume 4 and Darth Vader Volume 4. The last volume in Darth Vader series, not even close to being the last volume in the Star Wars series. And I'm counting that as the 2015 series, not the follow-ups. Sandman Volume 5. They had it. They better have Volume 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. No, 10. I know it was just until 9. I'll get the rest on my on the interloans. And they may have the Daredevil. They might have the Cable and Deadpool Volume 7 on interloans, but I doubt it. I think the only library that has Cable and Deadpool at all is mine, and my local library, not interloans library, my local library. Wonder Woman Volume 3. Why do I feel like I'm going so slow with this Wonder Woman series? I feel like, I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe because I took such a long break between Volume 1 and Volume 2, maybe. Because I had to. I got a whole bunch of books for Christmas, and then more of my own. DMZ Volume Unknown. They don't say here. They don't even say it on the side. And there's no way that it says it right at the end where it's covered off, because you can see there's the guy's name and the Vertigo label. There's no way they had room to put it in there. So volume whatever volume collects, whatever volume is War Powers. I think 7 or 8. I don't know. Maybe 8. Maybe 7. I don't know. You don't tell me. I'll do the other Brian Wood book too. Demo. Did not know didn't think this would be this short. I thought it would be Beck Clooney, the artwork. For whatever reason, I thought this would be from Vertigo, but it's not. And it looks like it's technically an original graphic novel, but each chapter is pretty long, so I'll count it as a book itself. Yeah, it's not saying. Because yeah, each chapter seems to be pretty long. It's fine with issue 4, so let's check here. Oh yeah. Yeah, each issue is pretty long. I know I shouldn't count it as chapters, but I still do. As long as it's longer, if it's longer than 18, if it's 18 pages or longer, I count it. 17, yeah, that too. Because that's the least amount you'll get for a comic book, and that was way back in the day too. Scales and Scoundrels, Volume 2 of 2. I thought it was a 3, but it's not. We've only 10 issues apparently. And it's not by Image anymore, which is really weird. I kind of hate when they do that, because I only count it when it's like what it is now. So Scales and Scoundrels is TKO. If I was to buy that myself, it would go in my TKO section. I think I have like maybe one TKO book. I don't think I have any, but maybe I have one. I don't know. Almost positive I don't. The final volume of Bitter Root Volume 3. Was so happy they had that too. It's one thing they didn't have, like, it's one thing they only had Volume 1, but when they have Volumes 1 and 2 of a 3-volume series and not Volume 3, I'm like, great. Now I had to buy it all myself, and I still feel like it's a waste of money. But with Bitterroot, it would have been different. But I mean, honestly, with Middle West, that even then I took like almost a year to get that. That was my favorite comics of all time, from Scotty Young, I should say. Yeah, of all time too. The Multiversity by Grant Morrison. I reread for like the 50th time. I actually like this book. It's pretty long though. One of them is like 72 pages, but a lot of it is just an encyclopedia of all the different Earths. So I skipped that part. I only care about the story, not about how many Earths they are and what each Earth is. I don't care. I want story. Sonic the Hedgehog, Volume 6. Now this one, I honestly don't know if I had read Volume 5. I feel like I did, and I feel like I didn't. So, I mean, honestly, I'm probably going to stop reading Sonic after this point. I'm just kind of like, I'm not a huge Sonic comic fan. I like it because it's a nice little palate cleanser. So, it's like a nice little, like, quick book. When I read, say, I read Multiversity, that's really long. I'm like, I want something quick and easy to read next. I still want to read books, obviously, but I want something quick. Here comes Sonic. Let's say today. Next one up, I honestly don't know if I had read this before. I feel like I did. I know it's the test. It's Batman Rules of Engagement by Andy Diggle. Andy Diggle, I actually got 2 Andy Diggle books, but one's an OGN. Andy Diggle is soon becoming a new, the new Cullen Bunn for me. When Cullen Bunn, like, I shouldn't say when it comes to horror, because I like more books that he's done that aren't just horror. When it comes to Cullen, no, I did read it, because there's a thing here. Unless someone else put a thing here. So I don't know if I read this before. I think I have. I don't think I did. If anything, it was K-Man. If anything, it was Cannon Town Library is one of those libraries that takes forever for the book to come in. But it didn't for this one. But yeah, I don't remember if I read this one before. I remember there was 2 that I had put in, and one wasn't available. The other one was. I think that was this one. I'm pretty sure, actually, now that I remember it correctly, I think that's what happened. I thought they were both by Paul Dini, though. Does he do the artwork for this? No? Huh. Sometimes they'll credit a writer as writing the book, and it doesn't even show. Like, I'll do Paul Dini Batman, that one showed up, even though Paul Dini isn't involved in it, and he'll check the authors and co-authors, and it's not even there. It's kind of like just put it there to put it there. It's very weird. Magneto Volume 2. It was one of those books I wasn't seeing right away, and I was like, oh, well, I don't know what to wait till next week, aren't I? I was like, nope, you're right, here it comes. To say the day, I don't know. This one I know is a reread, and that is Justice League versus Suicide Squad. Really like this book, and honestly, I don't remember a whole lot from it. I remember really hating the Tim Seeley issues in here, which is not good, because I did end up buying a Tim Seeley King Shark book, but that was $2. I thought I'd have to read that, because the Suicide Squad comics are coming alongside with it, and was coming alongside with it, being released around the same time as King Shark was. So I was like, yeah, should I get it? It's $1.99, why not? So the reason why I got the Krampus movie is because I got the Krampus book from Image Comics. And it was funny because I was like, oh, I thought Boom Studios, Grant Morrison, didn't he do a Krampus book? I was like, no. Turns out, no, I'm wrong. It's Klaus. I probably will end up finally watching the Netflix movie. Oh, I can do it tonight. It's beyond Christmas, I know, but... I know. I started doing Klaus and Krampus movie when it was near Christmas time, close to Christmas time, but I didn't. Or at least watch Die Hard on Christmas. You gotta do that. Batgirl Volume 1. This is the one I didn't like, but I want to get back on the Batgirl Rebirth, so... at least the Batgirl and Birds of Prey Rebirth. So I got this. It's not terrible, it's just Gail Simone's Batgirl is surprisingly dark, and it's gritty, but it's still, fun, obviously. It's not super dark, but it's part of the Batman universe when you're reading it, These Savage Swords by Ron V. from Vault Comics. I probably have only read, I've put single digits when it comes to Vault Comics. Honestly, this may be my first one. I can't remember the other ones. Yeah, Vault Comics is kind of like that. Oh, yeah, I know them. Yeah, I've heard of them. Cool. But Image Comics is the one I've heard of. You definitely know I've heard of Image Comics and like Image Comics. Because my entire shelf, one side of my shelf, I have two sides two sides of my shelf, and one side is all filled up with Image comics. Not technically, as there's some room at the end, but actually the bottom shelf there's nothing. The bottom row of the shelf there's nothing because I have my Simpsons comics stacked there. I don't know where to put those. I can't put them anywhere because I have so much of them. I'm hesitant to sell the Simpsons comics, even though rereading them I was like, this is not too great. The Simpsons comics, or at least the ones I read, reminded me a lot of modern Simpsons. Like kind of like a modern Simpsons episode you watch, like that wasn't too bad, you know, it's not as bad as it's been, it's pretty good still, okay. And you kind of forget about it after you read it or watched it. And that's how I feel about that. It's good. It's like a nice little, like, not even a palate cleanser. A lot of them took me a lot of them took me a long time to read. Not too long, but just longer than you would think. Longer than an issue of a comic will take. Why am I over explaining? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. No, yes, Volume 3. Civil War 2, right? Yes. And then, speaking of Civil War, this is unplanned. This wasn't planned either. Frontline Civil War. Reading this for the 10 billionth time. And I think it's that. It feels weird. It feels really weird not reviewing comics right after. I do like that I'm doing this, though. This is a nice little way of being like, hey, these are the books I'm gonna read. Yeah, some of them I read before and I know I like them. But, I was gonna say, well, obviously, why would you get a book you didn't like read again? Well, I did it with Low when I liked that a lot, and Monstrous, kind of with Monstrous, but like more so with Monstrous. I was like an okay comic going from okay to really good, but Low went from terrible to amazing, you know. And Sandman too, actually. But for the most part, these are new books. Okay, how many are? You know what I'm gonna do since I have some time. Actually, what time? 21 minutes. Let's get to 22, or it's gonna be more than 22. So these ones, no, I'm not gonna count them. I got a lot. I can get a lot of books. Man, I'm super stuttery. I'll only count the books that I haven't read yet. I haven't read yet from my local library. I won't count the ones that because Doomsday Clock I have not read yet. And for the longest time, I don't know why. Honestly, I can't say I know why. These are rereads. These are not. I just do that. I had it stacked in the perfect spot, and I was like, oh, move those away. It's original graphic novels. Soon, I don't count. But they kind of do. It's still a book I haven't read yet. But yeah, Fantastic Four Full Circle. I'm so excited to read. After Lord Olympus, that's going to be the next one I read. And I feel like this time around, it's like a new world record of how many books I've reread. I'm going to put Rules of Engagement on the ones I've reread. Oh, no, that one I haven't reread. I don't know why. It feels like I'm always like over half of the comics that I pick are rereads. And it's kind of weird to think that that's the case. DMG does not count because I've passed ones I haven't read yet. Or have read. So now I'm in the ones I haven't read yet. Sandman is a reread. Star Wars reread. Darth Vader's a reread. People in Deadpool's a reread. I'm not counting the books I have myself. There's library books. So this big stack right here, hopefully you can see the spines, so you know how much there are all rereads. You know, I'm gonna count it. I'm gonna count it. I'm including the OGNs too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's it again? 4, 7, 8, 10, 12. Of course it's 13, but 12 without counting Rat Catcher. I knew it'd be 13 too. I knew it would be. Wait, yeah, I'll count. That one counts. That one counts. Because sometimes I do that thing where I'm like, actually no, it's technically 11 because I shouldn't count. I really shouldn't count Batman. And then 12 with the original with the original when counting the original graphic novel. I'm surprised it took me as long as it did to reread Klaus. That was a damn good book. Like, not just because I really like Grant Morrison, but just in general. I think I got like 2 to 4. I got like 4. No, it was just 2. But like usually I only note 3. I don't like to do 2 of the same author, but now I do. Yeah. Yeah, so I can do this. I think it's the shortest movie. Alright, I'm gonna end the video now. I'm just traveling on at this point. You know what? Let's get to 25 minutes. 30 minutes, honestly. I like for the movies. I like ordering them by how long they are. So the longest movie goes last. You know, that's 2 hours 3 minutes. Krampus, I don't remember. I shouldn't say I don't remember being too long. Cause I haven't seen it yet. Nope, it's quick. It took an hour and a half. And I think Nope is the longest one. Yep. I get it. I could have said Nope, like the movie title. No, I don't care if this one's the longest one. I don't care if this is the one that is the longest one. I'm probably gonna watch this one right away. Although I probably shouldn't. I should save it for a family movie night. Even though it's rated R. You can't see it, but I don't think it's hard to see. No, not for it's not rated R for nudity, so that's fine. Alright, that's it.